What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We're talking about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So, unfortunately, Chris and Daniel are not here today, but it's been crazy, man. Hurricanes and family vacations and all types of stuff. But definitely continue to tune in. So Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. I have a really good one with Dr. T from Rep to Tech. Please go back and listen to that one. We talked about everything from mental health to creating a platform called Rep to Tech that has curated content for people of color and neurodiverse people. So she's doing amazing things over there and making some amazingly good content, right? I want to say dope content, but then I'm showing my age. And then Fridays, we talk about everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
You were talking about showing your age. I was going to be like, yeah, cowabunga, dude. This article comes from Forbes.com, written by Lars Daniel. And the title of this one is 23andMe to pay up to $10,000 to data breach victims. Are you eligible? So with the data breach that happened in 2023, just a recap of it, right? So it was October of 2023. 23andMe revealed that they had approximately 14,000 customer accounts that were accessed without authorization, right? So attackers exploited credential stuffing, right? Got in there. Well, the company systems weren't directly breached, right? But exposed the information, like sensitive personal information for customers, right? So names, birth years, ancestry data, information shared through the DNA relatives feature, right? They go into the article and they talk about the potential payouts for affected customers, right? So it took a year for us to get to this point to where they're like, okay, this is the payout. But like, it's one of those things where whenever things like this happen, if it's through negligence, especially, like I like to see it hurt. And this figure, I don't want to sound like this because it sounds like I'm being greedy when I say this, but this doesn't seem like it hurt. $10,000, especially in this day and age, I mean, that's next to nothing. And you have to submit a lot of proof, right? Like you have to prove, hey, my information was put out there. I was, whether it be identity stolen or whatever, based off the information that they got, you have to provide the receipts for it, right? So it's good that they're being held accountable. It was 14,000 people, and I know they have more than 14,000 customers. Let's not see them hurt a little bit more, right? Now, I get it that I just do, right?
That sounds so bad.
It does. I know. There's a cap, right? So like you can qualify for up to $10,000, right? So, man, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it needs to hurt more to keep things like this from happening, right? So, yes, they're paying out the money, but it's nothing to them, right? Because I want to say, just to get one of these kits, I think it's like $100 a pop now, you know what I mean? So, and then they have subscription services where you can pay every month or where you can do these different things. Like, and it's not just 23andMe, right? You got your Ancestry.com, you know, different ones like that. Like for me, personally, like I've done the 23andMe thing, right? It was a curiosity thing that I did years ago. I don't even really pay attention to it anymore. I get emails every so often. Hey, new DNA relatives. But for me, like when it came out, I was kind of like, okay, well, now they know that cilantro tastes funny to me, right? Like what are we really getting here, right? Like I have a gene that makes cilantro taste funny. I'm 3%, right? So what? I don't care, right? But there's other people who were more partially affected by this, right? Like if they use their information, again, identity claims, opening up credit in their name, things of that nature. Like second and third order effects are what we always talk about when we have articles like this. And that's what you run the risk of having happen to people here, right? So they go into the article about how to submit a claim and do all of this, right? You need to visit the official 23andMe settlement website because they set up a separate website for it, right? It's going to have an online claim form. You submit all your information by mail, right? But I don't know, man. It wasn't. They didn't get hurt bad. That's my big thing. They didn't get hurt bad enough to me, but I like to see that they're being held accountable somewhat. But I need more, right? But what's your thoughts on this?
So the future 23andMe is up in the air. Like they're dying for numerous reasons. But I always forget. Please like, share, and subscribe as I talk about the company's death. We are continually growing. We're seeing a spike in downloads, and I want to keep that going. I don't want it to just be a rare thing. I want it to be an all the time thing because we like this past 2 months have been great. So keep that up. Whatever's going on, whatever new channel is now subscribing to us or distributing our content or what have you. Because I don't have the analytics on it. I just see the spikes, and it's because of those core listeners that have been sharing, liking our content and all the above, right? So we have really good support. We want to keep it there and then continue to grow our base. So hit up all the websites, go by our name, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask CSSP on the social medias, or ramcyber.io and all that good stuff. But so I've read a few different articles on 23andMe, not because of necessarily the breach, but their future is weird, right? So 23andMe is not bound by HIPAA. They have their own policies and things of that nature. But if they were to sell or go private or change those policies at any given time, then everything goes out the window. So they could sell this data not for necessarily nefarious reasons, but because it's worth something, right? They have a huge sample base, and this data could be used. It can be repurposed for different reasons. Like they can do scientific data and research. They can pass it that way. They can do it for genetic testing and things like they're already doing, right? But the problem is that they're not seeing any growth. It's not a subscription-based model, or I guess there is a subscription-based model built into it, but it's not.
I could have been wrong. I could have been wrong on that. Like maybe it was just Ancestry that had the subscription base. I thought 23andMe did too. I thought it was advertised to me. Yeah, but I don't.
But you're only going to get so many people for so long, right? It's not. They have to figure out another pillar, and I think that's what they're currently doing. They're shopping around. Their entire board resigned because of speculation that they might be taken over by a third party. And then the CEO tried to walk it back and say, no, we might go private, but it's too late. Their board already resigned. And they're just crumbling from the inside out because of, not just because of this, right? Like it wasn't just the breach that hurt them, even though $5 million is going to hurt their pockets. It's just that no one is growing right now. Like it's like everyone right now, if you're not a house, you're not growing in value. This is just the way it is. So like you have like Microsoft also having the same issue when it comes to Xbox and their brand, right? Like you're not getting necessarily more people, so you're increasing prices, and they're already pricey as it is. Like you said, it's $100 a kit, and it's only one-time use. Like once I get that genetic data, I'm pretty much done. Thank you. I now know these things. So like, where's the growth come from? It's going to come from the sale of this data in some way. So that kind of fascinates me because you don't typically see that. At least that's a new thing, to take genetic data and then repurpose it for whomever needs it for experiments or statistics or things of that nature. So that fascinates me. Like what is my PHI worth? And how many times can you resell it for different purposes and things of that nature? So I never did the 23andMe kit. Like A, because it was very pricey when it first came out, but B, as because I don't want to know I don't want the little leaf or whatever, and then I find out I got more cousins and things of that nature. Like, nah, I'm good. I got enough family. It sounds bad, but to invite more people in is to invite drama. And I don't need that in my life. I have a very small family unit. I like it that way. I'm not looking for long lost relatives. No, thank you.
Out here like Mary J, right? No drama.
Yeah. No new friends, right?
That's Kanye.
Right.
Real Friends. Real Friends is the name of it.
Right. Yeah, it didn't really entice me. I was kind of interested in African heritage or African ancestry kit because I kind of wanted to find out about tribes and stuff like that because that gets a little bit more detailed onto the African continent, right? But again, it's just like it's not really going to do much for me. Like, I'm happy with the data I currently know. So I'm just like, meh.
The thing is, you don't have to look at it. Like I get the 23andMe emails where it's like, hey, we found 12 new DNA relatives in the last 60 days or whatever it says. And I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Right? I know who I need to know.
Because when you blow up like Joe Rogan, they be like, oh, you see this leaf? This is a Shannon Tynes leaf. Hey, cousin.
I have no problem saying no. It's all right.
You're like the Boondocks, where they just show up at your door. No, thank you. I'm good. But yeah, I just find that part fascinating, right? We're entering a new era, and I'm not saying that to be like hyperbolic, but like literally, like our genetics are worth money for various reasons, and it's just interesting to see how that works out, and what that looks like for the future. It's like this, like it's really science fiction is where we're headed. But I'm sure we always felt like this, like even in olden times, like when they saw the light bulb for the first time, they're like, man, what a time to be alive. And now look at us, they're like, man, time to be alive was terrifying. It's not the promise is not the same. You got your boy Elon making robots, and it's getting weird out here. But I say all that to say, like I want to see where this goes because I think 23andMe won't exist for much longer. But I believe that the data that they've collected will persist forever in different facets. It'll be sold and resold and rebundled and things of that nature. And I'm not saying that to worry people who have taken the test and whatnot, but I think we are entering a new era when it comes to our personal data and how it can be commoditized because there's no growth anywhere else. So why not in this sector? And I'm sure it'll lead to a cure for things, right? Like it could get a cure for cancer, right? There's people out there with so many different genetic anomalies and things of that nature. Like they can learn something really cool, or the opposite, where now this poison's made specifically for you. You know what I mean? Like this will only kill you. So I don't know what the future holds, but I'm both excited and thrilled and terrified at the same time. So thank you, 23andMe, for leading the charge. But yeah, I think 5 minutes is too low. I agree with you, but I think it's because they're about to crumble. Like they're going to pay this $5 million. They're probably going to sell themselves in various pieces, and their lineage will go on into some other company or facet. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens to them in the very near future. Because yeah, your retired board resigns. You're not long for this world. I think they have another year, maybe two, and they won't exist anymore in their current state.
When did this happen? That the board resigned like this? Do you remember?
Not too long ago, actually. Well, here's the paragraph. So this was really recent because it notes the data breach. So it says that lack of profit was attributed to warning consumer interest in 23andMe's use once test kits and lackluster growth of its subscription services. The company was also floored by a huge months-long data breach that saw hackers steal the ancestry data of almost 7 million users throughout 2023. The company agreed in September to pay $30 million to settle a lawsuit related to the breach. Less than a week later, 23andMe's founder and CEO, and I can't pronounce her last name, said she was considering third-party takeover proposals for the company. The CEO quickly walked back that statement, instead saying that she planned to take the company private, but the damage was done, and all the company's independent board members resigned with immediate effect. So it was sometime this year.
It was from the CEO. It sounds like where it came from. So yeah, okay, and that's wow.
Yeah, so they're falling apart from the inside, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. But yeah, they're not long for this world. So I'm sure private would be best for her, but parts and parcel would be best for their shareholders.
Probably just change the name. It won't be 23andMe. It'll be 22andYou or something like that. Like try to change it on you. It's like when Circuit City went under. Remember when Circuit City went under, they changed their name. It was part of their bankruptcy thing, but it was still in the same buildings where Circuit City was. To take it back a little bit, I'm showing my age now, right? But but when you ever went in one of them, because like it was, where was that? Was it Virginia?
It was probably
Virginia. When they went under. Yeah, and then you walked into that store again. You were like, "Wow! Like, did you guys actually reopen? Like, 40% of the store is empty."
Yeah, they're selling everything because they started when I was in Alaska. I was moving from Alaska to Virginia, and I was thinking about getting a TV before I left because they were like clearance fire sale, and I went in there and there was almost nothing left. They were even selling the fire extinguishers off the walls, like everything must go type situation. It's crazy. I saw the same thing with Forever 21. I went into a Forever 21 with my daughter because this one was shutting down, and they were selling the what are they called? Like where they hang the clothes, like
Like the rack stands.
the rack stands. Yeah, they're selling those. Everything must go. Like they weren't playing. So I don't know, but yeah, I think the same thing's going to happen for everyone's genetic data. Everything must go, right? So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Like that is, I'm not a conspiracy guy. I always sound like it every week. I'm a conspiracy guy, right? But it's not conspiracy if it's factual. And I think that it's going to be sold to the highest bidder, and they're going to use it for, again, research and other weird things. Like I can't even fathom right now. And you'll be like, man, I didn't see that coming. It's interesting. So I'm going to inject them and test the robots. There'll be more people, like, I don't know. But yeah, definitely hit us up. Like, I know this episode was weird, but hit us up. Monday, Tuesday, our topics, Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, ask a CISSP. And then Fridays, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But yeah, we're definitely expanding. We're doing new things. I have some exciting news coming up in the future. So I'll reserve that until next week or the week after. I don't know. Close to November, we have some interesting news coming up that I think will excite people, both those who have been with us for almost 4 years now, and then some new people, right? So hit us up on our website, go by our name, the other side of Firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask a CISSP. Hit me up personally at RYRY Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on all the platforms, but I'm most active on LinkedIn. And then this podcast is a proud product of Ram Cyber, so hit that up too. That's ramcyber.io. Stay safe, stay secure.